Good morning, everyone. I am Sarah Gold, and I am joined by Andy Coffin, my colleague, and we both want to welcome you and thank you for joining us for Taco Tuesday. As a reminder, this series is held on the first Tuesday of every month these days, and is an opportunity to connect our vendor partners with each of you. The webinars are recorded and then they're shared as segments to allow our members to learn about the products and services that are of most interest to each of you in 15-minute sound bites. The links will be shared with everyone who registered, and they'll also be posted on the WiLS website in several places, including the Taco Tuesday page. We'll also send it out to each of our member type listservs, and then they will be posted on the individual vendor pages as well. So I'm very pleased to introduce, whoops. Uh-oh, what did I do? It's always something with me. Oh, Jim has taken over. Okay, Jim, I'm just gonna go ahead and introduce each of the presenters. We have Jim Jacobson from EBSCO, who's going to be talking about the Entrepreneurial Learning Initiative Mindset Training Course, and then Jim will be followed by Susan Gall with FactCite, and then Susan will be followed by Sarah Perlmutter from the Chronicle of Higher Education, and finally we will round out the session with Treg Drews from AtoZdatabases. And without further ado, Jim, take it away.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for inviting me. I'm your regional sales manager. So in the normal time, I would be the person who could come and visit you on site at your school or library. So that's my role, is to kind of help you understand what EBSCO offers. We have a number of Badger Link databases and such. But what we're going to talk about today is our new program from Icehouse Learning, which is our Entrepreneurial Learning Initiative. And it's a mindset training course. So EBSCO has a number of different library resources to support entrepreneurs in your community. The one we're talking about today is ELI, but we also have Axel 5, Business Source Premier, which is actually available through BadgerLink for free, Entrepreneurial Studies Source, Legal Information Reference Center, Small Business Reference Center, and Reference USA. So this space really isn't too new to us, but what we're working on doing is kind of changing the idea of what a typical entrepreneur might look like. So just in your mind, you can kind of think about these entrepreneurs that have made it big, but honestly, in your community, there's a number of entrepreneurs also, and they usually are people just like ourselves that are kind of thinking about an idea and saying, boy, it'd be really nice if I could start that type of business and see if I could make it a go. So at the library level, at your school, you could always promote an entrepreneurial mindset. It's just the idea of how do you even start something like that? And that's what this coursework is all about. So in May of 2019, we actually held a webinar with the Library Journal that drew more than 400 registrants and over 200 attendees. And what we did is we kind of asked where libraries stood in supporting the economic development of entrepreneurs. And it was kind of interesting to find out exactly what they had said. For most, it was in their top 3, and for some, it was actually something they're experiencing. So they were actively exploring that. And when we asked, how would you describe your current position? Everybody wanted to improve it. And even a number were like, we'd love to do it, but we're on the sideline. So that's what we had talked about, the different roadblocks for that type of situation. And a number of them, one member of the libraries said, it's just really the lack of expertise, but also insufficient staff to carry this out. So that's what we really focused on. In an entrepreneurial mindset, this is before the nuts and bolts of what most people think about when they're talking about starting their own business. So it's before the business plan, before going to banks and finding out. it really is that idea of how to get your mind in the right place to start something like this. So in the course overview, what we do is we help you and your patrons recognize the opportunities that others overlook, how to master the art of bootstrapping, which is, okay, you might have to use your own cash. How can I make that go the farthest? Successful networking and things like that. So just really about the mindset that goes into starting a business. And we're working with ELI, which is part of the Ice House Entrepreneurship Program, which works with universities. And the nice thing is it's non-Silicon Valley. So it's not just a trust fund of those high-tech companies that have already done this. So it comes in a series of modules. There's 8 different modules. But when I talked about Duncan Smith, who's the founder of Novelist, he wanted to really be here to kind of promote it himself, but he sent me this video. Oops. Did you see the video yet or not?
We're not seeing the video, Jim. Try your screen share again to the new share.
How about now?
There we go. We can't hear him. You're just on your regular mic, correct?
Correct.
Try one more time with the, where you choose whether you're going through microphone or headset.
Is that better or not?
Can't hear Duncan like we did before.
That's odd. Can you hear him a little bit, or is it not at all? Because what I'll do is I'll just walk through it.
Not at all.
Okay.
And you can hear it through you're just playing it right off of your computer, correct? No headphones, no nothing.
Yep. Well, I'll just walk through his videos, kind of understand what each of the slides is talking about. Even though he does a much better job, it really is introducing what the course looks like. So as we take a look, these are what the modules look like. If you would try a trial, or if you would kind of go through recognizing the opportunities, what's nice is it is self-paced. So you are able to log in to your account and take each of these. Really also very nice is the fact that you have a chance for reflection, and there's actual action items that go along. So you can spend as much time in each of the modules as necessary to make sure that you've mastered skills in that area. What's also nice is at the beginning of each introduction, they pick a person to work with in those environments, very much like Dawn Hathaker here. Dawn was an American veteran who had actually been hurt when she was on tour. And then what she was able to do is bring her ideas back with her when she was looking for a job. So when she was in Iraq, she actually lost an arm. Came up with ideas that would help the technology solutions for government and say, you know what, these are some of the different programs and different ideas that I have. And she brought those ideas back and was able to, see by the slide, start a company that now has over 400 employees with an annual revenue of $1 million. So if we had more people in our communities like Dawn, then you would be able to have ownership, self-directed, action-oriented, and engaged individuals that see problems as opportunities. So that's really the training that these particular modules and this program.
Hey, Jim, you're fading in and out. We're getting about half of the words that you're saying.
Huh. Okay. Wonder if it's because of the audio interfering with my microphone.
You might want to shut the audio off. It looks like it's still running on Duncan's.
Okay. So here are the 4 different areas that libraries can interact with our ELI Mindset Training. So on a level 1 level, you actually work with and promote through EBSCO's customizable launch kit. At a level 2, you're able to have the expertise to work with local entrepreneurs, generating interest in the program. At a level 3, you can actually work with partners in your community to encourage them to promote it with their members. So Chamber of Commerce or those type of organizations. And at a level 4, you would have champions within your library that would help staff develop additional staff. And it's been very successful in Albuquerque. We also have, as part of our promotion, a launch kit that goes along with the ELI training kit. So there's handouts, the posters, bookmarks, and social media tiles. So at this point, I'm going to stop sharing and open a new share. So again, these are the 8, but what the course content really allows is video case studies. So we would work with people like Dawn and Paulisha to tell their stories and their experiences. We'd have action items for each of the modules, as you can see from the screenshot, that help you really understand and master those skills. It also has points to ponder, so assignments designed to encourage and additional resources, a whole list of different either ebooks or exploration exercises that come with each of the content modules also. A number of you all have Library Aware, which also is a Novelist product, but it does have a number of already made things. So, and according to the small business development centers that are in 62% of millennials say that they would like to have a dream business of their own, and 41% would quit their jobs right now. But within the current pandemic situation, there's a number of folks that we could actually help to start their new careers as they're looking into their current financial situation. So with that, I'll just open it up for questions.
Thank you, Jim. Anybody have any questions for Jim? I guess I have a question, Jim. Is this available, is the ELI available for trials, or if people are interested, they can obviously get in touch with you, but will you be offering anything post post-webinar for interested people?
Excellent question. Yes, you can definitely trial the ELI program if you would like. Set up a 30-day trial. Typically what we like to do is just kind of, again, walk you through some of the modules so you understand, what's available in the content. But just by emailing me at jjacobson@ebsco.com, you can definitely try that out for yourself.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Next up, we have Susan Gall from FactCite. And both Susan and Treg were gracious enough to come back. They had presented at our last Taco Tuesday, and because of the recording glitch, we invited them back to make sure that we got a recording of their sessions. So Susan, if you'd like to go, do you have slides to share? Would you like to go ahead and start sharing your screen? I'm not hearing you, Susan. Are you muted? We may have lost Susan. So I'm going to go ahead and move Sarah. If you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and move you up. And then when Susan rejoins us, we'll be able to, oh, here she is. Susan, you have to take control. You have to go down to the green button that says share screen, and then choose your screen, and then click share, begin share.
I don't know if it makes a difference that Susan is in the conference as an attendee versus a panelist.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think so. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't see her. Susan, you should have gotten a participant for the webinars. You actually have to sign in as a participant. I can't make you a panelist. If you can find that email and log in that way, what we'll do is we'll come back to you. I'm going to go ahead and move along, and but I'm not able to unmute you or allow you to share screen when you're in the participant mode. So let me go ahead and move along with Sarah. Sarah, if you want to go ahead and share your screen. Perfect. Yep. Okay. Looks great.
Are you ready for me?
Anytime you're ready, go ahead.
Let me make sure. Hello, everyone. I'm Sarah Perlmutter, the Director of Institutional Sales and Engagement from the Chronicle of Higher Education, and really appreciate the opportunity to participate in this Taco Tuesday. I'd like to begin by sharing some background about the Chronicle as an organization. I started with the Chronicle in March of this year. I had 8 days in the office before we all went remote. So I feel like knowing who you're doing business with is always a good thing, and I would just love to share a little bit of our history with you. The Chronicle is a privately owned independent news and informational organization and was founded in 1966 and originally owned by a nonprofit, Editorial Projects in Education. They later sold the Chronicle in 1978 to Jack Crowell and Corbin Gwaltney, and the Chronicle of Higher Education, Inc. was formed. Mr. Gwaltney bought the entire company in 1990, and until his death in July of last year, was the co-chair of its board of directors along with his wife and current chair, Pamela. The Chronicle of Higher Education, Inc. publishes the Chronicle of Higher Education, the Chronicle of Philanthropy, Arts and Letters Daily, and the Chronicle Review. So I thought I would start off first by speaking about the Chronicle of Higher Education, which you can see here on your screen. We successfully launched a new website a couple weeks ago and are very happy with the updated look and feel and a lot of its new functionality that we'll talk about today. The Chronicle of Higher Education has the nation's largest newsroom dedicated to covering colleges and universities. As the unrivaled leader in higher education journalism, we serve our readers with indispensable real-time news and deep insights, plus the essential tools, career opportunities, and knowledge to succeed in a rapidly changing world. Our award-winning journalism is well known at colleges and universities, and we have more than 2 million people visit our website every month, and over 1,800 organizations across the country make our journalism available to every one of their employees and students through a site license subscription. Our newsroom is home to top experts in higher education who contribute to the ongoing conversation for the issues that matter. The Chronicle of Philanthropy is our sister publication and is an independent news organization that has been serving leaders, fundraisers, grant makers, and others involved in the philanthropic enterprise for almost 30 years. It offers a robust advice section to help nonprofit workers do their jobs, as well as one of the biggest listing of career opportunities. A site license subscription, whether to chronicle.com or philanthropy.com, provides unlimited access to both website or either website for all students, faculty, and staff at your institution, whether on or off campus, through IP authentication and domain access. As we are all aware of how COVID is affecting us and academic institutions continue to operate from a distance, we want to ensure that all of our site license subscribers know how to provide remote access to chronicle.com. So if there is anyone still on campus, IP authentication will provide seamless access for all of them to chronicle.com. And if the library has provided us with their proxy IP address, users have the options to access the Chronicle while off campus through the library's proxy server. One feature that I have found in my tenure at the Chronicle that a lot of our site license customers are not aware of, which I think is a huge benefit, is domain access. And what this provides is a free account using your institutional email address for off-campus reading. So it not only provides unlimited access to chronicle.com, but it also allows you to sign up and register to receive any of our newsletters, such as Academe Today, Afternoon Update, Chronicle Review, and more. I am here, obviously, on chronicle.com, and so for your patrons, if they go ahead and create a free account, which I've already done, it also allows them, once signed in, come up here to my account and sign up for the newsletters. So again, I can choose to receive any one of these through the libraries or the colleges or universities site license subscription. Also worth noting that your patrons will easily recognize whether or not they're synced to the institution site license, because it will say here so up on the left-hand side of your screen. So the Chronicle of Higher Education has graciously provided this site license for me, but if we were coming in through UW-Madison, it would provide your institution's name here on the upper left-hand side. I also want to point out that with our new website, I've created a new FAQ that are available to all of our site license customers, talking about what does this subscription provide, how do I access the Chronicle, and it gives instructions for both on and off campus access, as well as discussing how to sign up for our newsletters. And anytime you have any questions or concerns about your site license, looking for usage statistics, any technical concerns or questions, please email our team at sitelicense@chronicle.com. These FAQs are now available on our website, and you are welcome to take this URL and post it on your own library homepage, in a LibGuide, or to share it with your colleagues. It's also worth noting that with your site license subscription, we provide searchable access of our archives back to 1989, and our special reports such as the Almanac of Higher Education and the Trends Report. The Chronicle also offers comprehensive data on higher education, including executive compensation, faculty salaries, and the fastest growing colleges and more here under our data tab. As you know, the Chronicle and WiLS have partnered to offer its members a discount on site license subscriptions to both the Chronicle of Higher Education and the Chronicle of Philanthropy. If you are not a current subscriber and would like a quote or a trial, please feel free to reach out to Sarah Gold, and we will happily set you up with provide any information you need, or set up a 2-week trial at any time. Any questions? I talk fast, so I might have burned through not my 15 minutes, but if there are any questions, please feel free to let me know.
Yeah, we're really excited about this offer. Thank you so much, Sarah. And to those of you that are interested, we will be sending out a follow-up email. If you're interested in quotes, as Sarah mentioned, we always have our quote, price quote request form that we ask you to fill out so that we capture all the necessary information so that Jim and Sarah and any of our other panelists can provide you quotes quickly and or trials.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Okay, so we sent Susan the link in her email several times. I'm wondering if it's going to spam. So Treg, I think what I'm going to do is ask you to go ahead and present, and we'll keep working on Sarah.
All right. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, you sound great, and we see your screen.
Oh, thank you so much. So let's see if I can get this started. Start slideshow. Slideshow? Maybe, maybe not. Thought I had it going here. Let me minimize this guy. Technical difficulties all the way around.
I don't know why Zoom is so difficult with the webinar. I really prefer GoToMeeting for our webinars, but this is what we have to work with.
There we go. All right, guys.
There you go.
Well, thank you, Sarah, so much. All right. So here's what we're going to talk about today. Thank you, everyone, for joining today. I apologize for all of the technical difficulties, but I'm going to blame no one for that, okay, but Zoom, okay? So as you can see on the page, this is AtoZdatabases.com. So I'll walk through some slides, and then I'll show you our homepage, and hopefully you take down some information here. But again, I think, Sarah, you're recording this for posterity so that people can refer back to it. But my name is Treg Drews. I'm with AtoZdatabases. Our company is about 10 years old. We have over 2,200 libraries nationwide that subscribe to our services, whether it's through WiLS or Michigan or some other state library consortiums or private and public libraries. And actually, Sarah, the last time that I presented, one of the people that participated, Nicolette or Nicolay Technical College, just purchased our product on Monday. So thank you for that. Yeah, so my name is Treg again. So you can contact me at treg@AtoZdatabases.com if you want a free trial. I've got the URL right here. We offer a free trial of our product for 30 days, and I'm more than happy to walk you through that once that time comes. But let's go to the next slide. So what is AtoZdatabases? We're an online reference and marketing database. We have sales leads. We have a research database for finding businesses, people, and jobs. And I think jobs is one of the most important things that we probably have to talk about today. So we want to help your patrons find jobs. We want to help your small businesses find potential customers to grow their business, because that's huge too. A lot of restaurants around the country are going out of business. And then it's a research tool to find businesses and or people and personal information. For job seekers, we have reference information as far as tying open jobs through Indeed.com back to links and companies that are within our database. And then as far as what we provide, we offer guidance and templates for resumes. And again, I'll show you that real quick once we get through the slide deck. As far as looking for a job, we have in-depth information about any business in the U.S., and we're a directory of 30 million businesses and over 240 million consumers or people throughout the company. If you want to find a person or a business, we certainly can help you out with that. Patrons are always looking for specific businesses or healthcare professionals. One of the things I like to point out is I've had a few different surgeries personally, so full disclosure. And if I were to move to a new town or city, I would like to search for someone that could help me out with those services. So we offer those as well, 12 million healthcare professionals. And then also we provide that person search. And then again, I kind of am kicking a dead horse here, but we're talking about healthcare professionals, lists of businesses, different types of businesses. And then for the small business community, what we offer are free leads to those small business community entrepreneurs. And I've heard that mentioned before with Jim talking about entrepreneurship. So if you have small business owners in your community, in your library area who are card holders of your library, we can help them out as far as finding new customers, whether it's on the B2B side or the B2C side. And we can certainly help you out with that through tutorials that we have and through training sessions that we have. We have 6 every week, 2 on Monday, 2 on Wednesday, and 2 on Friday, that will walk you through how to find new businesses, how to typically use our product, and then how to find jobs. And we'll talk about that again as I walk you through our user interface. And then again, for the librarians, a lot of people come into your library and they ask about, what's the weather like? How do I find this? Or I don't have a computer at home. So you can answer research questions for your clients or for your patrons. You can also increase your staff efficiency by showing them how to use these things on our product. And then you can also grow, again, through the small business community, link with your Chamber of Commerce and bring those people into your library again, and hopefully gain the number of patrons and the number of card holders in your library. Again, so we also have map-based searches, and again, there's a lot of things that we could go through today, and for the sake of time, what I will do is just go through the slide deck and then answer any questions after I walk you through our user interface. So again, we also have new movers. We can show you how to find new or potential donors, again, for the library, or for instance, if your zoo needs to find new donors or patrons for their services, or if you need to find people that would like to donate to the library because they like to read or they like to travel, or for any other reason, we have that information on our database. So again, my name is Treg Drews. My contact information is treg@AtoZdatabases.com. This is a link to asking for a free trial. We offer a free 30-day trial for any library that would like to look at our product, and then I would be happy to provide a free demonstration. A free demonstration for you anytime. So let me get out of this, and I'll do a new share and share my other screen. Let me hit escape, minimize this, and there's our home page. So before I go into this, does anyone have any question that is on the phone today or on the demo?
Treg, this is Sarah. I just had one comment too, that Treg is very willing to prorate subscriptions. So for those public libraries that tend to want their subscriptions to run on a calendar year, January to December, Treg has always been very accommodating. If you want to start sooner than a January 1st start date, he can certainly prorate, and also does a very nice job of keeping the renewal rates from year to year very low, if not
Thank
flat.
you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we understand what everybody's going through right now with COVID and being shut down and not having funding, and we understand that budgets are being cut 20 to 50%. So one of the last libraries that I have talked to and purchased our product was Plymouth. And what we like to do is, you know, if you run on a January, December, or a June, July budget, we'll work with you if you like our product right now and your budget doesn't come up for discussion or renewal until January. We'll certainly work with you. If you like the product, you can go ahead and sign up. Not today. I'm not gonna be that guy. But if you like the product and you want to do a demo and a trial, we would certainly be happy to get you signed up, and you could have that, what we call is a start it now situation, where then we won't bill you until January if that's the case. So that's all up for discussion, and we can certainly talk about that. So can everyone see the user interface, our homepage here? Sarah, are you guys seeing that?
No,
How about, well,
just shows your
let me
power.
minimize this.
There you, yeah, I see the end of the slideshow, and now you are.
You see the end?
You are at your last slide.
Okay, hold on. Let me get back there. Yeah, so, hold on a sec here. Okay, how about now?
Perfect. Yes.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you so much for sticking with me. Sorry for the delay. So this is our home page, our user interface. So what you can do on this page are a number of things. We have quick searches across the top. You can find a business or an executive right here. You can find a job in this section. You can look for a person or do a reverse search by phone. And then what we'll also show you down at the bottom here are our main 6 databases. So we have 30 million businesses, which I talked about before, over 240 million people or residences. And then we have 2 million new businesses that we get a file on every week, as well as 350,000 new movers and new homeowners. So it depends on who you are. Again, if you're a person looking for an individual or a single business, you're going to want to look up here in this area, or a job. If you are one of your small business owners or part of the small business community at the chamber, you're going to want to come down here and do a major search for some of these things. And again, we don't have the time to go into every one of these in detail, because typically a demonstration of our homepage and everything we have to offer takes about 30 to 45 minutes. I have 15 minutes today, so it looks like I maybe have about 7 minutes left. The other thing I want to talk about is the 12 million healthcare professionals, and that's really critical today now too, because of what we're going through. Again, I don't want to dig too deep into this. What I want to make sure that everyone has is my contact information. And again, you can always go back to Sarah to get that. You can reach me at Treg, that's T-R-E-G, at A2Z, that's AtoZdatabases.com for a free trial and a free demonstration of our product. But let's take a quick search for Apple. And this is going to be Apple across the entire country. And we're not going to put a city or a state in, because I want to show you how quickly we can search through, and I've clicked the green button for search. We're searching through 30 million businesses, and we returned results that quickly. So you'll see Apple Inc. is at the very top of Timothy Cook, and we're showing you their address, their city, state, zip, as well as their phone number. And then what you can also do is click into this particular record, and then kind of going to that job piece, you look over here on the right-hand side under job postings, and you'll see we have one of 2 pages here of all the jobs that are posted for Apple. If I click on View All Jobs, again, this is being piped into our database, and we're connecting that to like or similar companies in our database of, for instance, behavioral interventionist, a board-certified behavior analyst, and a clinical director at Apple. And I'm sure that applies to everyone that's on the phone call right now, right? We can all apply for that job. So I'm being funny, I hope. But so we're going to go back to details. And again, here's the overall overview of Apple Inc. If I want to, I can go back to Home. And now let's look for a job. Again, I'm going to look for IT in the zip code of 68135, which is local here to Omaha, Nebraska, which is where we are. And I'm going to do a quick search of that particular IT nomenclature. And then we find over 3,000 jobs that include IT. So it's going to pull anything where the job title has IT. So we see there's a pet care specialist because IT is in that word, but also a benefit analyst, a field technician. So again, what you see here, if I hover over that particular business name, is that's a link to that company in our database. And it also shows all of the jobs that are associated to this company on the right-hand side. So if I were to click on this location, I would find this particular job in Indeed.com. So there's a lot of different ways you can find information with our database. You can look for a business, you can look for a job, and then search for that business. Then what you can also do, again, see how this opened it up in a new window. I can go back to the results view. I can go back to Home. And what I can do is I can search for a zip code. But what I want to show you here is our cover letters, resumes, and tips. And this is very critical to what a lot of librarians and reference librarians, adult services people are really thrilled about our database, where I can look for step number 2, applying for the job, and I can say, hey, I want some help with resumes and cover letters, because a lot of the folks that, and I hope this resonates with everybody on the phone, don't have access to a computer or the suite of Microsoft products at home. They don't have Excel, they don't have Word, or they don't have PowerPoint, like all of us have the luxury of having at work. So what we provide them is the opportunity to open up a template for a resume. So that's going to pop open down here. I'm going to open that up. And what that's going to do is open it up in Word on my other window or my screen here. And as soon as it's done opening, I will bring that over in about 3, 2, 1, and there it is. Let me drag it over here. So this gives them a template, and we have 3 templates for each of these where they can populate their information. And then, you know, when they come up to your desk at the reference desk or the adult services desk, they can say, hey, you know what, I don't have this information available to me at home. Can you help me with this? And you can point them in this direction. And I hope that, again, resonates with everybody on the phone today. We have 3 templates for chronological, 2 for functional. There's 1 basic or plain, and then as well we have cover letters for people to create their own cover letters, and then they can either print that off or they can save that off on a thumb drive, or they can email it to themselves from the library to somewhere else or to a friend or whoever might have a computer. And again, I'm going to go back to our home page. I'm going to close this. And then we can also find a person. So I'm going to take a look at myself. I have no shame. I'm the only Treg Drews in the United States, in fact, in the world. So I'm going to search through 240 million people, and this is how quickly it returned that result. So it's not only going to find Treg Drews, it's going to find any T or Drew equivalent to what I'm searching for. So this is me right here at 26839 Taylor Circle. So what you're going to see is my basic geographical information as far as my physical address. There's a link, which we have on our business file as well as our consumer file, to your actual address, the metro area you're in, the county, if we have a gender associated to you, and then length of residence and age. And these are all very close. Whoop, I don't know what that's about. Let me get rid of that. Okay. as well as estimated household income, market value, and then census information from 2010, and then nearby neighbors. Okay? So this is type of information that you're going to get with our database, and while you can certainly download this information, again, so if I go back to home real quick, and I'm going to show you when we go to get started, and I apologize if I'm going fast, but I've got like 1 minute left. I'm going to look for a state, and that's going to be Nebraska, since that's where I live. Nebraska, see how it moves it over to the right. Now I want to look for a keyword, and let's look for a restaurant because I like to eat. And we're going to look for restaurants and food services, and you'll see how that pulls it down to the bottom. Now I'm going to go to the right and update my count. There's 1. So we've done something wrong here because, okay, we need to put an S there. That's what we need to do. Now we're going to look for burger restaurants, and I'm going to get rid of that. Let's update this. Now we have 488 in Nebraska. I want to look and do a search on those 488. So I see that we have them right here. First off is Donna Millie's. So let's say I want to download these records. I could certainly do it.
Craig, you might have hit mute.
Jamie, do you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Hello, check 1, 2. Okay. On this particular page, and I'm going to email those records. So I'm going to say I want to email those to Treg Drews. That's my Gmail account, and I can do it in a PDF or an Excel or a CSV file. Very simple stuff. I'm going to do CSV. And the results view is what we see here. We see the name, the person's name, their address, city, state, phone number, and revenue. And I'm going to click Continue. So what that's going to do very quickly is bundle that information, and it's already sent that off to my email address. So I'm going to hit Close. Something else I want to show you real quick is I want to save this search. So now I'm going to save this as Test, and I'll call this Test Sarah, and I'm going to hit Save. So once I've created my own account within AtoZdatabases, I'm going to view all of my searches, and there it is right there. This is Test Sarah, and there's 488 records. So if I go back to that particular search, it takes me right back to that search. So if you're a small business entrepreneur and you have a certain demographic of businesses that you target or consumers that you target, then you can save that search off and you can revise it and manipulate it and then download that information, do some sort of marketing campaign, and so on. So one last thing. Sarah, do I have another 30 seconds?
Sure.
Okay. So what I want to show you on our consumer file, which is something I talked about before, what we want to look at here are the opportunities for you to find specific people. So we talked about geography, so let's just take a look at a state again. We're going to look for, let's just go Alabama for our first one. I'll update the count real quick. There's 4.2 million people in Alabama. But now I want to look at people that have a certain type of interest. So what do they do in Alabama? I bet they like sports, right? So let's take a look at what they like. Do they like to golf? They probably like some NASCAR. They might like some spectator sports on TV. So I'll update my count. Now that drops it down to 710,000 people. Now I want to know who of those people like to donate. So let's take a look here. And let's open this up. What do they like to donate for? Maybe animal welfare or charitable or maybe a health donor. And let's update that count. So it takes us all the way down to 589,000. So those are some of the things, some of the demographics that we have on our database that you're able to segment our database by. And then again, if you're a person looking for an individual or a business or a job, you have all of those options with quick searches across our homepage. So again, let me go back up here and go home. So you have all of that across the top. if you really want to drill down into the 30 million businesses we have or the 240 million people we have, you have all of those other demographics as well as lifestyle information. With new businesses and new homeowners, you can look at new businesses and people that have moved into the area or created a business within the last week, 2 weeks, a month, 6 months, a year. And then your healthcare professionals, you can really drill into definitely specific types of degrees as well as gender and where did they get their license and so on. So, having said all that, I appreciate everyone's time today. Again, it's Treg at AtoZdatabases.com. If you have any questions, give me a call at 402-939-3873 or reach out to Sarah, and she's got all of my contact information. We have over almost 60 libraries in the state of Wisconsin that subscribe to our services, and we would like to add you to that list. Thank you so much, everybody, for your time. Sarah?
Thanks, Treg. Okay, I seem to have lost internet connection because this never goes smoothly for me. But Susan, please go ahead and share your screen.
It says I'm
I work on getting.
Can you all hear me now?
Yeah.
Sarah, can you hear me?
Great.
Cool. Okay, so it said I can request remote control, which I am doing.
Treg has to stop. Treg has to stop sharing his screen.
Okay. And now I can share my screen. Great.
Yes.
And I want to share this one. And we are ready to go. Can you see my welcome screen?
Not yet.
Okay. Let me make sure I've clicked on the right thing.
There you go.
Okay, cool.
Now we can.
All right.
Thank you.
So, wow, thanks for waiting for me. Gosh, that was a little bit hectic this morning. I'm Susan Gall from FactCite. Here's my picture with Kwame Alexander at the Virginia School Library Conference. I'm going to be giving you a quick tour today of our newest database, which is Milestone Documents Online. For any of you who don't know about us, FactCite is a collection of databases. We have resources that can be used by students in primary grades through college. And this database that I'm talking about today, which we've just launched, you'll see that when I show you the live version, we still show it as beta. It includes 1,500 primary source documents with analysis and commentary. It's a high school, academic, and public library resource. Any place where students are using or people are interested in accessing primary sources. There are more than 1,500 primary sources included in the database. They were curated by subject matter experts. There's analysis and context, U.S. and world history covered from ancient times to the present, and the interface is really easy to use, which you'll see in just a second. Today we're going to talk about the different curriculum topics that are featured, how the primary sources are incorporated into this database, and how the commentary and the context essays complement the sources themselves. And finally, there are study resources that can be used by teachers. If you're working with AP history teachers, college professors, there are study resources that go along with many of the documents that can help inform assignments and also classroom discussion. FactCite features audio read-along for the documents, clean screen designs to maximize readability. We have citations included in every article. We have the ability to add to ClassLink, Google Classroom, etc. And we're integrated with Noodle Tools. That's a resource that's heavily used in high school. So if any of you are high school librarians, you may be familiar with that. And now I'm going to switch, this is my final screen, so I'm going to switch to my live FactCite screen so we can take a look at the database itself. And let me find that. Let's see, where is it? I'm going to minimize the screen for a second so I can. Here we go. All right, I will now share this screen. Okay, so if any of you would like to come back and explore this a little bit further after we finish the webinar today, you can go to factcite.com, that's FACTCITE.com, and use the username WiLS, all lowercase, and the password member. That will be an open access for Milestone documents through the end of August. And you can also contact Sarah, or you can contact me if you want more information about that. These are the other databases that we have in FactCite. I'm not going to talk about those today, but if any of you are interested in learning more about the other resources, don't hesitate to get in touch. So if we click on the Milestone Documents icon, I mentioned to you before, we have the beta listing at the top. This is the way that the documents are displayed. And just for purposes of our discussion today, I'm going to take a look at African American history. Each one of these sections is expandable, so there are hundreds of documents included in each section. In African American history, there are these various subsections, and I'm going to click on the one that says Say It Loud, Black Power, Black Feminism, and the Search for a New Radical Paradigm. Each of these subheadings would include a collection of documents. So here we have the Black Power, Feminism, Search for a New Radical Paradigm, and here are the primary sources listed. An Adam Clayton Powell article, Angela Davis, Black Panther. I'm going to click on Shirley Chisholm, who was a remarkable orator in the 1970s. And here's a document by her. It's entitled The Black Woman in Contemporary America. So the features that go along with this document would be an overview. This puts the document in context. And the person who wrote the scholarly context, overview, etc. for this document would be listed here, Paul Murray of Siena College. The overview article will give us some context. She was selected as the keynote speaker for a national conference. That's the overview. Then we come to the document itself. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. The complete speech is included here. Then if we go back, oh, I went back one too far. After the primary source document, there's an essay by Dr. Murray putting her speech in context, explaining a little bit about what Shirley Chisholm's mission was in giving this speech, what was her agenda. Then we go to about the author. This will tell us a little bit about Shirley Chisholm herself. Here's a further explanation and analysis also written by Dr. Murray. Here's a section on the audience. This isn't included for every document, but for any time the person was giving a speech, perhaps writing a letter, there'll be some information about who the audience or the intended recipient of this particular document was. What's the impact? Why do we care about this today? Then we have this section with study questions. These are some things, if in high schools and colleges, there's the concept of the flipped classroom. So students can have been assigned to read the document and then perhaps come to class prepared to participate in a discussion on some of these topics. In the further study section, we have other articles that relate to this particular document, this particular person. Every single FactCite article, not only the ones in Milestone Documents Online, but every single FactCite article has Find Articles Similar. This is an algorithmic matching. It'll take you to other articles. We list the author of the article, the word count, and then the MLA 8 citation. And if your institution is using Noodle Tools, there's a link to Noodle Tools, so the citation would be drawn right into your Noodle Tools subscription. We have this section, would you like to comment on this article? This is not comment like on a public forum where the comments will be posted publicly. This is an opportunity for anyone who's using the database to send a comment to our FactCite editors. So when you click here, a box opens, an email comes to our managing editor. The email comes anonymously. We would know what institution's account was being used and from which institution the comment came, but we don't know who sent it. But frequently, our subscribers use this to send us comments or suggestions for enhancements, for requests for new content. And our company, we're a small company, small but mighty. I'm one of the owners here. Speaking of entrepreneurship, my husband and I started our company in 1992. And it's free market research for us when you all send us comments from the field, when we get comments from users. You can imagine from our elementary databases, we get a lot of goofy comments every day if any of you have worked with elementary students. But we also get a lot of really serious suggestions. And when a comment comes in from a student, we take action on it because it's free market research, and we know if that student has an interest, there are probably others who do as well. A couple of other features about this database. When you're a FactCite subscriber, you can subscribe to a single database or a collection of databases. So if you choose all, when you're doing the Google style search here at the top, that would search all the databases included in your subscription. So if you were to subscribe to our American History bundle, for example, which has 3 databases, searching for Shirley Chisholm would search across all those 3 databases. You can also restrict the search to just milestone documents. This icon here that you see is an add to Google Classroom. All of our links are persistent. That is to say, a professor can choose if there's a Google Classroom environment being used, the professor can choose to link to this specific URL as an assignment, and that's something he or she can send out to students. I know my time is up, so I'm just going to say a couple of other things. FactCite is committed to student privacy, so we don't collect any information on individual students. We offer access at your institution or remotely for a single subscription price, unlimited access. FactCite displays well on any device, tablet, smartphone. We haven't found anything it doesn't work well on. It's quite affordable. You can request pricing through WiLS, but I can tell you that Milestone Documents is under $300 for 1,500 documents. It's an amazing resource. During the last webinar, someone asked the question, or maybe it was one I did in New York State, someone asked the question, what's the advantage of this database over a primary source archive? And I would say the simplicity of searching and the context for the documents. So if you're working with student researchers who may find searching in a primary source archive overwhelming because they get so many hits returned and it's hard for them to find what they're looking for, this database and the curators, the scholars who put it together, have curated the documents for you, and it's very user-friendly and is terrific support for student researchers. Any questions?
And I'll just add to Susan's comments about the milestone documents. The FactCite databases have really taken off, if you will, in Wisconsin in the K-12 market over the last several years. And if you have questions and want to talk to any subscribing districts, they're happy to talk about their experience. There are myriad resources to choose from beyond the milestone documents. So please feel free to reach out to Susan or myself. And then again, we will include the link to the price quote request. It looks like Kathy has a question.
I'm not seeing the question. Are you going to read it to me, Sarah, or?
She raised her hand, and then there's, Kathy, can you type the question, or? I'm sorry, Kathy, we can't see your question. Oh, there, she typed it. She's asking if you'll have Google single sign-on.
Oh, everybody's asking that, and we don't have it currently,
Yeah.
but we expect to have it by September 15th-ish.
Perfect.
That's been a question that's been coming to us almost daily from new subscribers. You know, this is the time of year when school renewals are coming in, and with everybody learning remotely, we had tremendous usage during the period of school closure in the spring. We're gearing up for that this fall again, and we're currently, we have single sign-on through ClassLink, but the Google one has been requested so frequently this summer that we've got our tech people working on it right now.
Thank you so much for that.
And you're welcome to request a trial anytime.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Susan, and thanks for your patience as we were working through the technical issues that always seem to happen with these webinars, but we made it through. And I just wanted to thank each of our participants, Jim from EBSCO, and Sarah from the Chronicle, Susan from FactCite, and Craig Drews from AtoZdatabases. Again, just a reminder that we will be sending out the links once these are, it takes a couple days usually to segment them, but since you registered, you will receive them, and then we will put them on the individual vendor websites. And then we are taking a break for September, but in October, we will have another Taco Tuesday. So please join us October 6th at 11:30. We have some new vendors that will be joining us, and we will get the link out for registration, and also the full lineup of vendors sometime after Labor Day.
Thanks, Sarah.
Again, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Please stay healthy and stay in touch. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you, Sarah from Treg.